This is KAJ News. I'm Chris, hosting the breaking news. I have the New World Trade Center news coming right now. Tuning in live. I'm Chris with KAJ News. I'm here to talk about the World Trade Center. I'm also going to be going out later to do a couple interviews to see people's views on the new World Trade Center. But what I have for you today is Spire for One World Trade Center heads into NYC. Top story today, 9 pieces. The center's director of construction, Stephen Plate, says that Spire marks a post 9/11 milestone that signifies that New York City is better than ever. The pieces each weigh 70 tons. Plate says 1,776-foot high-rise symbolizing America's freedom will be the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. Trade Center disaster. And we're having a new one built.
I think it's a beautiful thing to have it rebuilt, because it was a big tragedy in our history, so it definitely happened while I was alive. So I definitely want to shout out all those families out there that were affected and everybody. It was a real tragedy.
I'm here with Max Schenk, about to interview him about his views on the World Trade Center. What are your views on the World Trade Center and its new coming?
Well, I believe that the World Trade Center is a very cultural, embracing establishment.
Okay. Anything else?
And that it's very good for different cultures to unite.
I like that. Is that all you have for us today?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. This is Chris. I'm here. Back to you, John.
Over the past 20 years, American technology users have had essentially 2 choices when it comes to their personal computers or workstation. And although this scenario has led to some entertaining and memorable television commercials, the issue has always been somewhat polarizing. PCs are made from parts produced by other technology companies, then assembled and bundled with other hardware and software by companies with the brand names we recognize. Furthermore, PCs can run any operating system that is available for installation. There are really 2 main ones on the market right now, Windows and Linux. The Apple operating system can actually be run on PCs also, but Apple is pretty serious in enforcement of its license agreement, which reads, you agree to not install, use, or run the Apple software on any non-Apple branded computer. Macs, on the other hand, are produced and pretty much completely built by Apple using components that they produce or at least control the production of, and until recently they were only available at a few very select locations. While this may offer better quality control, it also affects the price, which is why Macs, whether laptop or desktop, are more expensive than their general equivalent PC counterparts. The popularity of Apple's iPod and iPhone lines has also triggered a renewed interest in the Mac. At the beginning of this decade, only about 3% of desktop computers were Macs. But by 2008, data from the global market share statistics showed that this had risen to more than 8%. These overall numbers include Apple's MacBook line, which is nearing 15% of the U.S. laptop market, with cloud computing.
That's all I have about today's Macs versus PCs. For further information, please visit our website at www.kajnews.com to get more info and more history about Mac versus PCs to see which one you debate on, which one you have in life. Now on to sports.
Thank you for tuning in to KAJ News Skype Edition. I'm Terrell Johnson. Here today I'm going to talk about the Pistons and the Magic's compete in battling who topped it off this weekend. Also I'm going to talk about the NFL and different viewings and draft days coming up. Also how they're going to do in the playoffs and who's topping the brackets.
First off, I'm going to start off with the NBA. The Pistons pounded the Magics. Andre Drummond and Jason Maxill each record doubleheaders with 11 points and 11 rebounds, helping the Detroit Pistons pass their struggle against the Orlando Magic with 105-90. On Tuesday, Brandon Knight led the Detroit Pistons with 18 points, and Greg Monroe chipped in 16 points and 6 boards for the Pistons, who have won 2 straight following in a loss to the Knicks in London last Thursday. For more coverage, highlights, and news on the NBA, go to cagenews.com and click on the sports info. And last, I would like to know online, my question is, what do you guys think about the returning of Derrick Rose for the Chicago Bulls? Please leave me comments, details, or response at cagesports.com. You can also download the Cage News app sponsored by your service provider. For any extra details, visit our website. Now it's time to bang heads and talk about some football. Whoa, yeah. Well, upcoming with the draft, we have 2 heads that people have been talking about. Donnie Ray and Javis Jones. These 2 have been competing for a while, definitely in the playoffs in NCAA college football. And these are the 2 that's getting looked at this year in 2013. There's so many players that are working so hard to make it big this year that it's going to be a big competition to decide on who to actually pick for the right team. We'll see who gets lucky. Also, for running for that right team, you know what I'm talking about. That number 1 team trying to go right to the Super Bowl, trying to get that ring. Also, right now in the runnings is the Colts sitting at the 2nd seat. Also at number 1 is the Patriots. In the 3rd seat, Buffalo. In the 4th seat, Tampa Bay. But these teams have to compete right now next week to see who is going to make it number 1 to the top. Let's go ahead and see how we can see how this ends up.
I will also keep you guys updated with the stats and the news on the NFL player stats going on today's world, and also on the NBA about Derrick Rose and SBN news, and also the NFL draft and picks that we're going to have for next year to see them run to the top. Thank you for tuning in to KJ News.
Thank you.